Hello again, VOD people. We're back. We're in Dream Drop. But mostly, I just kind of want to talk KH4 with the chat and anybody else. And, you know, if anyone wants to call in that I know, we can just, like, kind of spitball and shoot the shit. If Keynote's still here, I would love to have Keynote on if he's around. Let me see here. Hot takeoff. It's probably going to be... I'm not sure. I'm not really positive. Yeah, I'll talk about this in a sec, the no data. So no data? Yeah, I know. I'll explain this. Yeah, the hot takeoff, I think it might be a stream, and then it'll be, like, condensed into a video for my main channel.
What is this question?
KH4 question. Amur said in an interview that there's still more about Sayx's scar. That wasn't a question. You can't just use AMA to say something, Gotvaka. God. I'm ops with Gotvaka today. There's more about Sayx's scar, though? That's crazy. Or you're just asking me what I think about it. Anyway, yeah, so let me explain what happened here. I didn't lose the file. I wanted it to look like I did for the funds, but, so it's down here. But notice how many there are. This is because, Zach of Potatoes, thank you for the follow. So, I was playing some PS1 games, on my PC, you know, somehow, legally. And I plugged my controller into my computer, not realizing that it was still, you know, controlling inputs on my PS4. So it deleted my proud file at the top here, and then made several copies of my current file. So at least we kept the current file, but I have several of them now. So yeah, but I leveled up my magic leapin'. Yeah, go figure. I was playing Ape Escape and also deleting and copying my Dream Drop file. Go figure. Go fucking fig. Let me change my category here. Ha! But like, really, I just want to talk KH4 for a sec. Like, if anybody has any, like, spitball some theories or just kind of propose worlds or like just anything from the trailer. That's what I'm into right now, more so than playing, you know, Dream Drop Distance. But I want to say about Star Wars. Let me open the floor. Let me just open the floor on the Star Wars of it all. As someone who has seen 2 Star Wars films, High School Musical World, listen, never say never. KH4 is a game that will come out, and I will play it. That's a good theory. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You never know what's going to happen, climate-wise. We got to act quick. Okay, with the Star Wars of it all, right? Like, I have seen the first Star Wars, 1977, and the Jedi Returns, the fucking 8th one. Number 8. Right? No. Episode... What? No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was it 7? No, 4 is the first one. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I have seen 8, yes. Yes. Episode 4 and episode 8. That's what I've seen. Now, I'm not pro or anti-Star Wars, but, like, I think the people that are, like, super upset about it are, like, kind of... It's, like, overblown, if you ask me. I know that, like, it's not something that Disney owned originally, but, like, what does it even matter anymore? You know, we're really honestly running out of, like, traditional animated properties that, like, would work well for Kingdom Hearts. Like, don't tell me that fucking Aristocats or Jungle Book is any more fun or interesting or fitting than Star Wars. You know what I mean? I don't care about the properties, to be honest. Like, if you want to use Marvel, if you want to use Star Wars, they've made a fucking world out of Symphony of Sorcery. Don't tell me that they can't make it work or that it doesn't fit. I mean... I don't think there's anything in media that fits better thematically for Kingdom Hearts than Star Wars. I mean, as someone who's not that entrenched in it, Kiwi's calling me. Kiwi, give me a sec. I'm gonna rant right now. As someone who like doesn't watch or really consume Star Wars media, I mean, the whole fucking thing is like light side of the Force, dark side of the Force. You know, there's all sorts of shit that you can work in. I mean, it's very simple and baseline, but like they use the same language even. It's just kind of like. Like I think the argument that like they can't make it work or that it's too mature or that it doesn't fit in is just kind of like totally missing the point. Kiwi, what do you want? When am I put you on speaker? They can't really hear you that well. I watched the VOD back and it's not gonna sound great, but I mean we could try it if you want. And the KH audience is maturing as well. I agree with that. Do you think the dialogue in the trailer might imply that it won't be easy to travel between worlds in KH4? That's another thing that's not exactly I don't have a perfect answer to your question, Veeks, but I see a lot of people bringing up like that, oh, Star Wars is in space and like we travel in Kingdom Hearts is contextualized through space travel. But like we don't really know that that's how it's going to be in 4. You know what I mean? We got to Quadratum not going to space. So it's like I don't know why people are so locked into the idea that like, oh, because Star Wars is like multiple planets in a greater space-themed universe that we can't work it into Kingdom Hearts. Because right, you can go through portals, you can fucking travel through like there's all sorts of ways to get from place to place in Kingdom Hearts that isn't through gummy ship. Like I agree. If we're contextualizing travel through gummy ships in KH4, then it doesn't really make sense to go to Star Wars. I agree. To go to Star Wars, like what does it even mean? Like where are you going? Is it one planet? Is it several planets? Do you have a whole world set in Endor? Like I would think that would be kind of underwhelming as someone who's not a Star Wars fan. No, Kiwi, like if it's on my cell phone, I can't really like get a good way to hook it up so that people can hear you well. If you're on Discord, you want to call in through that on a computer, that'd be better quality. Yeah, I mean, I think it would if it's gonna be like contextualized through gummy travel, I think one planet is the way to go there. But if it's like a galaxy far, far away, that'd be a good name for the world. Yeah, far away galaxy or something. But I think if it's like Sora goes into a fucking portal in like a Quadratum overworld or whatever,
all yours, Frosty.
All yours, Frosty. Then like why not? Why not just show up in a different space-themed area, separate of our usual gummy space, you know? But it reminds me of Shrek, Far, Far Away. Right, yeah, like they did it with Deep Space. I didn't love it in there either because it's like, okay, you're traveling to. I mean, I don't know. Because like Monstro and the Deep Space Ship are basically one and the same, right? Like they're just themed things from that property moving throughout the KH Gummy Space area, you know? So it's not like you're like going to several different areas in the Lilo and Stitch space canon, you know? It's just like the ship from Lilo and Stitch contextualized as flying around in the Kingdom Hearts Gummy Space. So it's never really been that weird or bad, if you ask me. And I think they can make it work just fine with Star Wars. And Marvel, I feel the same. Like, I am not a huge... I've seen all the Marvel movies, except for, like, the newest ones. I enjoy them. I'm not, like, a big Marvel stan. But, like, I have no reason to believe they wouldn't be able to make it work well. I think it could feel a little redundant thematically and just theming-wise... and thematically and theming-wise are the same. I mean, like, environmentally, because, like, we just had San Francisco, like, you know, superhero shit in a big city. Like, you would think it would be, like, a New York-inspired area with, like, maybe the core Avengers for something like a Marvel-themed world. But, like, in terms of, like, including it as a property, like, I don't know why people are so defensive over what does or doesn't get into Kingdom Hearts. Like, Pirates of the Caribbean is a live-action property that it looks nothing like and feels nothing like, you know, fucking Alice in Wonderland or, you know, Aladdin. It was always owned by Disney. I guess that's, like, the one defining factor that, like, really steams people's carrots about it. But, like, I just don't care. Like, there's only so many animated movies left that aren't repeats that I feel would be fitting. Or, I mean, I know I just said, like, oh, you can't make... Like, they can make Star Wars work because they can make anything work. But, like, do you really want to see Aristocats or Jungle Book or fucking, like... I could see, like, Great Mouse Detective could be cool. But, like, I don't know. There's overlap thematically and environmental-wise with certain places we've already been. Like I think Jungle Book always would have been kind of redundant and pointless after Deep Jungle. Like, really, how different does it get, like, you know, appearance-wise? Big thing right now is the wild card that is Pixar. Like, new Disney movies, Star Wars, Marvel, sure, whatever. But the Pixar library is so expansive and untapped that we could literally get anything from there. What do you want? Okay, let's, in fact, rank them. Dust the Monster, did you make the Marvel Kahoot? Or is that, like, a pre-existing one? Because someone sent me, like, a pre-existing Kahoot. And I didn't really want to do that because I prefer that they're, like, made for the stream. But let's see. I will rank the Pixar films by how much I want them. Let's go back over to PC here. Pull up a notepad. I really don't want to play Dream Drop. I just want to talk KH4. Now we're just chatting. We're just chatting now. But I'll get some music bumping here so we don't have silence. And then we can talk through how fitting I think each Pixar movie would be. Let's do look at the BBS OST. I miss BBS. Let's see. I don't need the extended versions though. Why is it in this order? Why are we starting with Dark Impetus and then Dismiss? What kind of fucking playlist is this? Oh my god. You can't trust anybody. Fucking internet. Okay. Dearly Beloved, Key of Light. I can get behind that. I tend to avoid Dearly Beloved because sometimes I get snagged on those. How's that sound? Let's see here. Alright, I gotta pull up a list of the Pixar movies because I don't think I can name them all off the top of my head. Pixar movies. Okay. Moan will be the water world? Can they get the rights to Moan though? Alright, let me change my capture to Notepad. Oh my god, look at this high quality streaming. Let me see, that's too small. Let me zoom on in. Still pretty small. Alright, there we go. What do you want from me? What do you want? Tier maker? Oh, okay. Fucking, you know, highlight your message. Alright, let me pull this up then. Alright, we're ranking these by like how well I think they'd work, not necessarily what I think of them as films. I haven't seen all of them. So there's that to take into account as well. Alright, switch over to tier maker now. Okay. Alright, so what do I think would be the absolute fucking best out of this group? Coco, for sure. If we're going thematically, if we're going environment, potential for like an interesting level, it's Coco, like no contest. This is not by how likely I think. I think it's by how well I think it would work and how much I want to see it. Okay, just to be clear again. And after that, it would be Soul, because I'm really big on like the thematic connections. So I think Coco and Soul are both perfect. If we're going by how I was kind of conceptualizing it after my trailer reaction, if Donald and Goofy are going to the underworld either to talk to Hades or Orin or whatever, or looking for Sora, if they're like going to places where they think there might be a lead in terms of figuring out what happens to somebody after they die or disappeared or whatever, then these two movies are like fucking perfect for KH4. If this movie is about death or the afterlife or whatever, however you want to phrase it, these two movies are like number 1 and 2 with a bullet. I'm only putting Soul ahead of, or only putting Coco ahead of Soul because I just think the environment would be more interesting. But I think they're both great. So yeah, Onward I haven't seen, but if it's about that, then I'll put it in A because it's Chris Pratt. So it's like, do we really need Chris Pratt in Kingdom Hearts 2? But yeah, I think that's a good pull there. Okay, what else? What else? I think those three, if we're, and again, I'm just taking your word for it on Onward, but those three are probably the top 3 in terms of themes. And then it's like, you gotta deal with like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. because they're repeats. One thing we can all agree that we don't need Good Dinosaur. We can put that down there. Mario Cage crossover, that's true. The Mushroom Kingdom Hearts we've been waiting for. I mean, we have Smash Bros. Now, but Sora's already met Chris Pratt in Smash Bros. What is the most, out of the Toy Story 4, which one is most about death? Is it 3 because of the burner pit scene? What do you think? Finding Nemo with Finding Sora? Yeah. You can see it. Forky fits in thematically. Say more. I'm not disagreeing, but I only saw Toy Story 4 once, and I wasn't paying 100% attention. I mean, yeah, Toy Story 4 seemed kind of like existential to a degree, didn't it? It was like what constitutes as a toy or not as a toy, at least on the premise. I don't think they really explored it in the fullest. Toy Story 4 could be about death, as is 2 with Legacy. I mean, I'm just going to use like one Toy Story thing to encapsulate the entire series. Forky and Shion would be good friends. Yeah, existential, but is about death necessarily. I think I'd probably... I mean, I think there's more to see with Toy Story. It seemed like they were potentially lining up... Well, I think that one of the main reasons they didn't have all the Toy Story characters is like they didn't have a voice for Slinky for KH4. Toy Story just because Rex knows about the world. Yeah, that's good. There's a tie-in there with the Rex and Verum Rex. I'll put it in B for now. Well, I mean, I don't know. I love Toy Story as a franchise, so I'd probably put it there, to be honest. I don't really need to see Monsters, Inc. again, to be honest. I don't know how much is left to mine out of Monsters, Inc. I know some people found, like, the factory kind of restrictive, but, you know, I'll put it above Good Dinosaur, but, like, I don't really need anything else out of Monsters, Inc. And I love Monsters, Inc., but I don't like Cars at all, so, sorry. I know that some people really want Cars, but, I would have it not likely and not high on my wish list prior to the 4 trailer, and now that we know what kind of direction we're leaning in, you know, I don't really think we have room for Car Sora. Do people really unironically want Car Sora? Because that's crazy. It would be hilarious, but it would be a big meme. But listen, Cars is a cash cow, but it's been a cash cow for, like, you know, 4 Kingdom Hearts games at this point. You know, what are we waiting for on Cars? The Cars moment has passed. Has it? Cars 4 isn't a thing, right? Or is it? How many Cars movies are there? 3, right? I've never seen any of them in full. I tried to get through 1 and I was like, fuck this. There's 3? Okay. Too many. That's the right answer. Cars 2 would be pretty epic story-wise. Isn't that the Spy Car movie? Spin-off planes. Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy and KH. God, bring them all in. You know they'd just be sound-alikes, though. Honestly, Inside Out, like, I don't know how much room there is for it in terms of, like, it's not really about, like, death. I mean, a lot of these aren't. You know, most of these left are not about death. There's a little bit there with Up, right? But I would just really like to see Inside Out, and I don't think it's that unlikely. It'd definitely be weird. Like, contextualizing it would be tricky, because it's, like, it's not a world, right? Like, the world is a person's brain. But I don't hate it. I'll probably put it, like, right there. I think there's a lot you can do with it. Oh, we're dying. Bow, bow. My stats look good, though. That's weird. Give me a sec. Sorry, folks. Oh, wait. Kiwi, are you still down to talk? I didn't realize you called me. I couldn't hear it. Let me send my stats to Frosty. 736. All right, let me we good now? Think we're good? Sorry about that. All right, let me I'm gonna bring Kiwi in. I think Kiwi wants to chat. Kiwi?
Oh, hey, it's me.
Yo, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can the chat hear Kiwi? Can I get a Clayton if you can hear Kiwi in chat? I think they got you.
Oh, good. I know you asked for Keynote, so I was like, oh, perfect.
You know, I got the first
what he wants.
I got the first 2 letters, so it's close. No, I didn't know if he was even around.
I know what the whole chat must be thinking right now.
He sounds fat.
Kiwi, he sounds fat.
That's right. What's on your mind? What are you calling in for? So shoot the shit?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, how's your day going?
It's great. I mean, two banger Kahoots. I didn't play so well, but how'd you do on those? Well, how'd you do on the first one? Obviously,
the first one I did great.
Yeah,
the first one I did great.
Yeah, you did a hell of a job.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Why does everybody keep spamming Clayton? Do they want me to die? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what that means. They want you to die through shotgun shells. That's typically what that means. No, because I said to put up a Clayton if they could hear you well.
Wouldn't be the first buckshot I've taken.
Yeah, but no.
The second Kahoot though, I was like 30 or something like that. So there's some big poopy there.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't do very well either. So what can you do?
So I see you're working on a
tier maker.
Yeah.
You want to talk through this with me? Like, what do you think about some of these worlds?
Are these just about how they would fit into?
I think yeah.
Kiwi sounds like you're a basic white guy.
Oh no!
I love it. That's about me.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I mean,
I think more so. I mean, it is about how well they would work, but also how likely. Like because there's movies that wouldn't work great in terms of like the death theming. 'Cause that's really all I'm going off of is like in terms of thematic connections. Like if we're like looking for Sora and going to places that could give us a hint on that on the light realm side of things. Like I think we've talked about Coco and Soul. Have you seen Onward?
Yeah, okay. I've seen Onward.
The chat's telling me it would work to some degree. Do you co-sign that, or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think, well, the first thing that I think I kind of look for in a Kingdom Hearts world these days, in the post-KH4 era, is can you have two party members? Are there like two central characters that you could kind of have join the party?
That's true,
instantly. That's kind of a big hurdle to pass there, and
well, you can still
has that going on.
Yeah, and you can still do just one party member, because in 3 we had like Baymax, Hercules, Marshmallow. But like if there are two, then that's obviously preferable. Why not?
Yeah, I think I prefer 2 now that I've had a taste of it. That's all I want now.
Sure, yeah.
I think have you seen Turning Red yet?
I haven't, no.
Now that one does not fit.
No. Like just
though I like it, that one does not fit.
Because I've seen people saying that they want it and that it would fit, but are they just wrong?
Really?
Are they just wrong and cringe on Twitter?
I would I'm thinking they're probably cringe on Twitter. I mean, cringe on Twitter and being on Twitter.
It's pretty redundant, yeah.
The same there.
Yeah. Kind of wasting your breath on that sentence.
What was the question again?
I mean, like, why wouldn't
it fit? Are they being cringe on Twitter, or does it fit? Well, I'd be open to hearing about it. But,
I mean, I haven't seen any reasons.
It doesn't strike me.
I just hear like it would be good.
It's just rather different than the usual Pixar style. It's not really any kind of hero's journey or anything like that. It's very small, it's very small scale. There's nothing galactic going on in it. And, I'm sure somebody could probably pick out a Kingdom Hearts world that's not very galactic, that's already been used and they made it work. But that one, it seems, would...
That's kind of how I feel about Luca, the same. It's like, it's like a small Italian town, I guess, like some underwater. Like, I think Luca would work better, but I don't know if it's like... they were going to do Luca instead of like Finding Nemo or something, And I loved Luca. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Barnabas says, I feel like Turning Red could work. Or they use the panda transformation as a parallel to Accepting Your Darkness like Riku did. Is that true?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't like the optics of that, because the whole turning into a panda thing isn't something to be afraid of, which I guess would actually be thematically in line there. But
yeah, true. Like
the
whole Riku arc is accepting the darkness and everything.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But I don't know. Some of these I feel like, I mean, Ratatouille, we've already seen it. I think kind of fits better as just like
I don't think we need
it in a world, like there doesn't need to be the rat cooking world.
Right, yeah. I think we're good on that.
Brave fits well.
God.
I don't care about Brave.
Yeah, nobody does.
Well,
well, I just want to go back to Turning Red really quick. Like, what is the environment for Turning Red? Like, what does that look like?
Well, it's Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
It's just like a cityscape. But
gotcha.
It's not like especially important what city it takes place in, like
right.
I'm sure that there is like a cultural significance to it, but like for a thing like this, I mean, there would be nothing that would that would be like, oh, Toronto, just like, yeah, we need that. Like San Francisco, I think pops a little bit more. It's a little bit more fantastical, but Toronto is so itself, like it's already a brand. It doesn't need any fantastic element added to it. It's exactly as it is. So,
I'll put it at the top of D tier. I'm comfortable with it, top of D. Just from what I've been told. I just wanted to say, and I was talking to Kiwi about this yesterday, but I think like if Nomura knew that that Quadratum was going to be like the next phase for this franchise, like as early as 3, obviously, because you see it in 3. Like, why would we go to San Francisco in 3? Like, I feel like it really kind of cheapens the impact of seeing Quadratum, because it's really just like the same kind of environment, but it looks a lot better. It could have been such a bigger sort of culture shock for Sora to like never see anything like Quadratum. But then like with San Francisco, it's just like, oh, this is like Quadratum, but a little less good looking. So I just wanted to get that out there. It's been bothering me for the past few days. All right, I'm gonna put Luca also in D, but like above actually Turning Red, because I do think it would work better. Although maybe I'll put it in C. I think they could make it work. If it's kind of like a big sort of like Kingdom of Corona environment, I would think. Like you take the whole city area of Kingdom of Corona, like the whole actual kingdom, stretch it out to be a little bit bigger. Have some underwater portions, like half on land, half on water. It's kind of like a self-discovery sort of movie, right? I don't think it would be super out of place. I don't know how you tell the story, but I don't hate it. And you're saying Brave works?
Yeah, Brave I think works better than most of these that are at the bottom.
Like maybe B tier? I haven't seen Brave.
Brave, I would say, well, I mean, before it became all about death, Brave probably would have been like just behind The Incredibles and what would have fit the best probably for me.
What do you think, like, what does Disney think of Brave? And by that I mean, like, do they like Brave? Like, is this something that they, still kind of push? Because, like, you have movies, like, obviously, like Frozen that they push all the time still, but, like I don't feel like they love Brave, They're not nuts about it.
I don't really feel like they acknowledge its existence too much.
Right. That's my only trepidation with that, is that, like, it's not super fan-beloved, and I don't know how much Disney really wants to push it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe I'll put it, like, top of C for that.
Oh, I think B. Can we agree
on
B?
All right, I'll put it in B. B for Brave. Fine. That's fair.
Let me just take over your list real quick.
Sure.
Let me just step right in and take that over.
Now, Up, someone had mentioned, obviously, so much of the plot is centered around, like, Carl dealing with Ellie's passing. So there's definitely, like, a heavy death note. But, like, could you see that being an entire... Like, I struggle to see, like, what you really do with the environment for Up. Like, just, like, a South American sort of, like... I haven't seen Up in a long time, so I don't really know, what is the most consistent place to kind of run around in for a world, is, I guess, what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, the South American jungle landscape there around the waterfall, right?
And obviously, it's been a minute since, like, Deep Jungle was, 2002 at this point, so it's not like it's, redundant, like, we can't have another, like, big jungle world, but I just don't know, like, how distinct is it, like how many areas do you pull? Like, I think a big thing for me when I think about Disney Worlds and when I, like, rank them when I'm doing those projects is, like, how many, like, set pieces can we pull from? Like, really, what do you think of in Up besides the balloon house? Like, I struggled to come up with, like, a set piece to set anything in. Whereas at least Deep Jungle had, like, the treehouse and the camp. Like, those are, like, 2 solid movie locations that are instantly recognizable. Outside of the balloon house and Up, you show me something from the movie without the characters in it, I'm not sure if I know where it's from. So, for that...
How would that even, like, work on a single, like, planet in the Kingdom Hearts world, right? Because, like, does he, like, do his balloon house thing and he just gets carried to the other side of the world? So, like, there's this huge, like, metro area and the other half of the world is, like, a South American jungle. I don't understand how the world, like, would look on the map.
I assume you sort of just drop in at a certain point in the movie, like maybe you drop in after like they have moved, like they're in South America, which some worlds do that. Like you're just at a certain point in the story already. Like with Lion King, they show you maybe it opens with a flashback just to give you some context, but then it drops you in like when Simba's already grown up.
Right.
So that's always an avenue, but I just think it's such a more personal story than some of these. Like you look at something like even Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Coco, like they have personal notes, but like there's just more of an adventure to it, Like and Up is not an adventure, but it's so intrinsically about like this guy's dealing with his grief in a way, and like confronting his past in terms of what's the name of the explorer guy? Charles Muntz boss fight. You just push him off and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't see how it works in the Kingdom Hearts context, but so I mean, go ahead. What do you think?
No, put Up where you want. I was just gonna go back to Turning Red once again.
No, sure. I'm gonna put it below Luca. Actually, I mean, I like Up. It's a lovely movie, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said a good movie doesn't equal a good Kingdom Hearts world.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, like that's kind of the thing here. Like once again, I enjoy Turning Red, but like I would really like for somebody to describe what that would look like with the Kingdom Hearts, like with a Keyblade in it. Like there's no like I don't know, malevolent force
right
there.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like awkwardness is the dark force in that.
Yeah.
Like that's
exactly.
not I don't know what that actually looks like, and there's no like journey to be taken. It pretty much all happens on like one block, the entire story. Like there's not a lot of movement there, so I just don't know how that would fit. Like something like Finding Nemo, I don't know how like well that would work, but like at least that there's an obvious like adventure aspect to it that would like take you from one side of the world to the other. You know?
There's a logical sort of level progression there.
Yes.
Carly, to clarify, I don't think anybody here thinks Brave is a better movie than Up, but I think it works better as a world than Up, at least from what I know of Brave. It just seems, I think the adventure component is really important. Let's actually like kind of like look at the past for a bit here and think about like what movies have we seen that are not really explicitly adventure movies. Like Alice in Wonderland is probably the earliest example of that. Like that's not so much an adventure, but it is like a very fantastical sort of location, which makes up for that,
Right. I mean, Alice in Wonderland is like the same
Cinderella
storytelling beats as something like The Wizard of Oz. Like you're kind of thrown into like a weird kind of environment, and you're kind of like interacting with all of the weirdness of that, and then you just throw some enemies in, and that's kind of how that all flows together. I mean,
because I will admit
it's easy for me to see how that could have been done there.
I think some more interesting and more dramatic answers to that are like Cinderella, Snow White, because I will admit that like I kind of sleep on the game's propensity to be able to make worlds and concepts like that interesting, or at least work. And like I'm not going to say that like the Castle of Dreams experience in Birth by Sleep is like a fucking neck break pace, like it's crazy breakneck pace sort of experience, but like they made it work, so I kind of sleep on how they are able to make movies like that work in the Kingdom Hearts context. So
Cinderella might be the tougher fit there. Snow White, I actually just watched it recently again, and like there's a couple of distinct areas that I see that they could have pulled from there. I mean, just seeing it again, I mean, you've got like the castle setting. Okay, I mean that could be a world in itself. It already has been. But then they go to the cottage and the mines, and like I could see. Okay, we've got three very distinct areas that can take up just enough. Just enough room to go and explore. Without it just being like one setting the entire time. Yeah, I mean, I trust that they're creative enough to make like pretty much anything work, but like what just stands out immediately is like, oh yeah, definitely that.
Sure.
Like, definitely that. Like Turning Red and Luca do not strike me that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they would prefer to have something kind of already built there for them to go off of, as opposed to, you know, obviously they have been very creative in the past, but like I don't know if they're really like, you know, oh, we're gonna not take this like adventure movie with basically all of the beats built in, the environment perfect for the world, and instead do this like more lower key personal story instead.
Yeah.
Give me a sec here while my stream is buffering. Let me stop streaming actually, and I'll restart. Wait, green. Refresh if laggy. Anyway. Nope, we're red again. All right, one sec. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Just gotta stop the stream down real quick. Come on, you. Let's try this. Fittingly, we had the silent. What is it? The Secret Whispers playing while we talk about Dwarf Woodlands.
Ooh.
Yeah, go figure. All right.
We love that.
We love that. Oh, we love that, folks. Still connecting.
And
we're still dead.
folks,
And folks, we love that. God damn. Hey, VOD people, just give me a sec as I, yeah, stream key. Fuck off, that's bullshit, you know it. There we go. Should be good now. Anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
I just love hijacking these streams. This is like my loudest example of doing so.
Yeah.
It brings me a lot of joy.
Oh yeah, I'm
definitely.
glad. I'm glad. If I were in your shoes, I would also love hijacking other people's stuff. It's the best. I love being a guest on other things. Like me doing my own thing is great and all, but like when I get to go on like the Ansem report or just anything, and I don't have to be responsible for whatever's happening, and they handle it, that's great. I'm like in my element when that happens.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know what we were saying. We were talking about like, you know, how they take like lower key movies and make them work.
Yeah, I mean, my last point, I guess, on those princess movies is that, like, they already set those characters up as, like, existing in the world, and that they already were, like, tampered with. Like, they came from a place, and so they kind of already established that that world is out there. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you don't...
to me.
If you don't have, like, Snow White, Aurora, and Cinderella established as, like, key characters in KH1, you probably don't give them all... you know, all three of them a world in Birth by Sleep. Like, I think there was
I would say no.
kind of a breadcrumb trail there to set them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Finding Nemo, as you were just kind of talking about, I don't know, like, it's still definitely popular. It does seem pretty... I was going to say basic. Like, it's a family, sort of. Like, it's about a relationship between a father and a son. They love those movies, especially in the cheap cools. I don't know. Like, environmentally, like, it's just kind of Atlantica again, is it not? Like, and maybe even not as visually interesting, if I can be so bold. Like, it's kind of, like, you know, come back to the set piece thing again. I can think of, like, the big jellyfish area, and obviously, like, when they arrive in, like, the fish tank, but, like, the rest of the journey is kind of foggy to me. There's, like, the area with the sharks. Is that, like, what is that, is that a sunken ship? I don't really remember.
Yeah, there's like where all the bombs are and everything.
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah.
I think Finding Nemo is a lot more visually interesting than The Little Mermaid, but like as a world, I feel like it's a lot less colorful and like I don't know. I feel like there might be a little bit more to play with, like environmentally in Atlantica, you know.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I mean, I can't imagine that they'd want to go back to like all underwater combat, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, they would have to build like a fish thing for, you know, they'd have to make Sora into like a fish, or whoever's visiting the world. So, I did have a question from 8 minutes ago. How would you feel about Riku or Kairi going to Disney Worlds with Donald and Goofy while Sora is stuck in Quadratum? I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I don't get the impression that it's going to be like Riku and Kairi are together for most of the game. Do you?
What's that?
Do you get the impression that Riku and Kairi are going to be like together for most of this game? Like I get the impression they're going to be doing their own things separately.
Well, I think that all matters on when it happens, right?
Yeah, true.
Because if it happens after Melody and Memory, then they're going to be separated. But if it happens before Melody and Memory, then I think they're also separated, right?
Yeah.
Because Kairi will be sleeping and
right.
Riku
Yeah, it's
will
an
be...
interesting thing that people aren't talking a ton about, but you know, we have 2 time skips basically. We have from 3 to Remind, and then Remind to Melody and Memory, and then after that. So it's like this game could cover, you know, all 3 of those time periods or just one of them. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to think about because we have all that time that's just you know, waiting to be filled in. Like you have TVA going off to you would presume the Dark World at the end of Remind, and it's like, are they back by Melmem? Like, are they, you know, just chilling when Melmem starts?
I think they are, because Yensid sends Donald and Goofy to go, and that's why I'm thinking that KH4 might actually happen before Melody and Memory, because Donald and Goofy are doing what they were supposed to be doing in that year in between at the end of the trailer.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, because you would think they wouldn't just be doing that for another year. After we have to stop the stream down again, unfortunately.
Oh no, the stream.
Yeah.
It's the big dead.
Yeah, it's probably you. You're probably the problem. Not actually, but
you bitch.
Yeah. We're connecting. Yeah, don't say anything insightful until I give you the go ahead.
Okay, I'll stay silent.
Yeah. That's the only way to prevent it.
I did put the stream up just in case anybody's talking shit in the chat, so I just...
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Just in case I have to rip anybody here.
Yeah.
The YouTube people still here?
Oh, the YouTube people are always here in spirit.
Oh, the YouTube people can hear what's happening?
Like not live on YouTube, but like I am recording this natively, and then they'll be able to watch it later. And we're still getting like a really shitty connection.
Hi, future YouTube people.
Hey, YouTube people, we're back. Anyway, Finding Nemo, I put it B tier just because I like Finding Nemo. I think it's more likely just on a marketing level than Brave. You know, maybe not so much on an environmental level, but why is Innocent Times looping? You're not hearing the stream, right? But Innocent Times is playing again. Why? Sorry, we should be moving on to Drops of Poison. Anyway, what now, Kiwi?
I'm losing the call.
Oh, are you? Is it? Maybe it's just my internet now.
Okay, I think you're back now. Okay.
Well, the stream's dead again.
Oh no, not the stream.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. All right.
Finding Nemo. If that was like in a promotional material, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
That's my top Pixar movie.
Oh really?
I think that's like a top 100 movie flat out. Like
wow.
Ever. I adore Finding Nemo, but
pretty good.
I don't know how it like works. I mean,
yeah.
I have to see it to believe it, you know.
Yeah. Maybe I'm too high on it.
That's how I feel about a lot of these. I mean, only like a few of the Pixar movies can I actually like get the eye test and be like, yeah, that really fits, you know.
Yeah.
The Disney movies, like when I saw Encanto, even though it takes place in a pretty small area, I was still kind of like, oh yeah, there's a lot of potential for stuff in this, but I don't really get that vibe about most of the Pixar movies.
I mean, like thematically and like character-wise, like I think Sora and Mirabel get along really well. Like I think there's a lot at play there in terms of like just the character relationships, but I really struggle with the environment. Like, you know, it all takes place inside the house, and the house is only so big.
Right.
So they'd have to really, you know, have some creative liberties there with Encanto.
Yeah.
But it is so big, you know, so...
Well, I think probably the easiest thing they could do without taking too much creative liberty would be to go inside each of their rooms and, like, there's some kind of darkness in each of their rooms, and you have to...
Yeah.
You know, go and clear that out in each of them.
Yeah, that could be something there.
And Bruno's Tower.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's Bruno environments. Yeah. Incredibles.
Yeah.
See, I just think like San Francisco just kills this. You know, like they're just not
Unless
gonna.
they go to the island, right?
Yeah, but even then, like, it's just like, okay, a group of superheroes, like, this is a group of friend superheroes, and this is a group of family superheroes. Like, for people who don't want MCU stuff in KH4, I would thank San Francisco, because I just think the whole gist of it is just way too redundant at this point. If it was like we had a game off, then maybe, but if it's the next main game, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, and I love Incredibles, but I don't know, and I would say it would work really well for Kingdom Hearts, but it's just like San Francisco got there first, so it kind of puts me in a weird spot in terms of rankings. Like, how likely do I think it is? I think not very likely at all. I think you're more likely to see like Luca than Incredibles at this point, even though I think Incredibles would work way better. It's just like way too similar.
Put that in the hot takeoff.
I mean, purely based on the fact that we just did a whole world about superheroes, you know?
Yeah.
And I agree that Barnabas didn't. I mean, I don't think Big Hero 6 sucks. I think it's just like, I think I said that Big Hero 6 is like the definition of like a B movie, like just like on the scale of F to A, like that's a B right there. It's fine. What do you think about Big Hero 6?
Me?
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 I think is solid.
Yeah.
It is a B movie, not the B movie, but
very
a
different.
B movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
everyone's.
it's alright.
People are nitpicking me on the San Francisco Incredibles thing. Like, it doesn't matter where it takes place to me. It's the fact that the characters you're interacting with, it's like 5 people with superpowers. You know, we just did this. I don't know. Am I overblowing how similar they are? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. I mean, talk me into the opposite direction.
There's a lot of different environments and.
I don't think superheroes can only be done once. I'm just like, really, like within 3 years, like then the very next game we're doing. I don't know. It just seems like redundant to me.
Yeah,
like working as a team. Like that's the whole
saying,
whole thing is like working as a team in San Francisco. Like that's like the whole kind of Disney lesson that you're being taught there. Like I feel like that's basically what the Incredibles end up doing by the end of the movie. Is like, oh, we can use all of our powers together to like accomplish all this neat shit. Like I don't know. They're very different movies, and I like Incredibles more, but I just don't know. I think it's kind of like exhausting at a point to have two things with that sort of energy right in a row. But go ahead.
I think the Incredibles, they're probably more daunting as a unit than the Big Hero 6 characters are.
Yeah, I mean, Big Hero 6 are just like kids with technology, basically.
Right.
They're like all Batman.
And that's the same thing with like Encanto. Like, I feel like the Kingdom Hearts hero collection are going to be kind of like outwitted by the next wave of villains in the series, or adversaries. I think the Masters is probably smarter than the other characters. They have like certain foresight that the heroes are going to be needing to align with people who are like especially gifted or have like things that could give them an advantage. And so I don't know, seemed like more of a level playing field in the past. I didn't feel like, even though they were outnumbered 7-13, I didn't feel like they were a clear underdog or something. But now I feel like they're really going against the bigger more
force,
intense threat, So,
yeah.
I don't know. I could see them wanting to bring in the more powerful characters to kind of beef up the heroes and give them more, give them a leg up, kind of in the same way that Jack Sparrow uses the pirate brain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have some kick-ass Disney type moments.
Kaji Danky, thank you for the follow there. I mean, okay, so Incredibles, I've had pushback on it. I guess I'll put it in B tier just for the pushback. I guess I'll put it above Nemo. I'd still rather see everything else up there, and I still think everything up there is more likely. No Incredibles world, but a super difficult Underminer's secret super boss. Yeah, I could work with that. Get John Ratzenberger in there. They already have him for Ham, so he's around for Kingdom Hearts. Bug's Life, there's no space for Bug's Life, right? Like, I don't think Disney likes Bugs Life. What do you think?
No,
Yeah.
I have very little to say about Bugs.
And I like it. I mean, I think it's fine. I liked it more as a kid. I think nowadays it doesn't hold up as well. But I mean, environmentally, I probably have it above everything in C and D tier. But in terms of like how likely it is, like I think Disney would be more interested in pushing Luca up than Bugs Life. So yeah, I think Bugs Life's time was KH1 for sure, as like one of the new kids on the block. If Pixar integration was a thing in 2002, I think that was the window for Bugs Life. Oh, you know what that means I have to do, Kiwi?
Yep.
Mickey,
It's Riku.
it's Riku.
They put bugs in him. What? There you go. Kiwi loves the Michael Watt.
I was dying over that yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out that Terranort solos half of the characters after I said about how they didn't seem as outmatched. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. Like, why is Terranort
like,
so juiced? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, in that one scene there, like, but that's kind of how the cutscenes work, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how much. I know it's like the truth, but like, how much of a difference is there between the cutscenes and the actual?
Oh yeah, it's so hard to delineate.
Gameplay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Terranort. Let's just talk about Terranort for a sec. Why is he as strong as he is? Like, Master Xehanort, a very powerful Keyblade wielder, kind of stunted by his old age. Like, but like, how good is he really? You know, like, why is he that good? Like, I mean, really, compared to the Master of Masters, you would think that he's not as. I mean, I haven't seen the Master of Masters do stuff yet, obviously, but like, you would think that he's not even comparable to someone called the Master of Masters, right? So it's just like an old guy who's like pretty good at using the Keyblade and magic, puts his bot or his soul into the body of like an okay guy. Like, why are they so strong? Why is Terranort so good? It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I think for like the first part of it, it's kind of a little bit of a catching off guard thing. Like, I think Ventus gets bodied because he's like kind of not expecting it. But
Yeah,
like,
true.
after that, though, I mean, I don't know why he's just flinging people around. It's really random.
Like, Xehanort's brain and Terranort's body, or Terra's body, is just, it's way too strong for what really is, what you're adding together there, if you ask me. Like, Terranort's just fucking putting in work in KH3, and I never got the impression before that game that he would be capable of just, like, fucking crushing it like that, but I don't know.
And then, like, he later gets smashed, though.
Barnabas,
like,
explain to me...
he has Vanitas with him, too, so...
Explain to me how Apprentice Xehanort is not Terranort.
We're not doing this.
No, we are,
Apprentice
Kiwi.
Xehanort
I'm defending
is
your
Xehanort.
honor. I want to see Barnabas explain this. How is it a different person? Because it's not. It'd be like if I took my shirt off and put a lab coat on. What, am I a different guy? Not really.
Yeah, this is really...
If you're used to seeing me in one shirt and then one day I wear a different shirt, it might be jarring, but I'm still the same guy.
Like, let's say one day you're, you know, on the stream and everything and you look like yourself, and then the next day you have, like, some goofy hat on or something like
imagine.
that. You're still the same guy,
right? I'm still the same guy. I'm still the same guy if I were to do something like that. I don't understand.
Yes. I mean, I don't know why you would do that or, like, why that would ever happen.
If I did, it would probably be, like, a genius marketing move, but I wouldn't do that, so. Alright, Bugs Life probably, like... I don't know, you'd probably put it, like, beneath.
That's good dinosaur tier. Get that out of here.
No, I'm putting it in C just because the environment works better than a lot of this other stuff. And, I mean, I don't know what they would do with it, but whatever. Okay, Terranort got amnesia after being defeated by Aqua. After that, Terra and Xehanort were locked inside his heart, and a different consciousness took over. We see clearly that he has a different personality as the apprentice, while Terra and Xehanort are bickering inside his heart. No, that's my answer to that. I disagree. Do you have anything to add, Kiwi?
I mean, go ahead and say it. I just no.
Like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, it's the same guy still. It's just someone with a different, like, acting differently. It doesn't make them a different person. Their constitution is still the same. Like, I get what you mean that, like, the personalities are clashing, but, like, they're still the same two personalities. You know what I mean? Like, if I were possessed by a ghost, That might make me different. There's Pat and there's Ghost Pat, but then if Ghost Pat puts on a different shirt, that's still Ghost Pat. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, I don't know. I think your question in the Kahoot was perfectly worded, is my final saying on that.
I'm not too upset about it. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, as you should. Worded. As you fucking should. All right.
I don't know. I don't feel like the responsibility is on me to like explain this because like
I don't think so either.
I feel like I've got the canon take and somebody's.
You sure do.
No.
You sure do. Wall-E. What do you think about Wall-E?
Fun environment. It's not a.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not a great Kingdom Hearts.
I think it's like right there with
conceptually. Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the up.
I'd put it above
section.
Up. I mean, people get so touchy about the space stuff, as I was saying before you called in, but I think it'd be more interesting than Up in terms of, but again, very similar in terms of the environments. So, yeah, I feel good about this. I feel really good about the S and the A tiers. Everything else is kind of wishy-washy, but like these are my picks, you know. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about Inside Out until you got on the call here, but what do you think about Inside Out in terms of in the Kingdom Hearts context?
Yeah, I was kind of hearing a little bit of discussion while I was, sweating over
I did not lull know Barnabas's argument. Did I lull know the argument? I think I explained my reasoning on it pretty well. I said I was
actually more the LOL no person.
Yeah,
here.
Kiwi lull knowed you. I did not. I told you my reasoning for why I think it. Your argument's reasoned, but as is mine, and mine makes more sense. So, I love you, Barnabas.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yeah.
There's Terra, and there's Xehanort.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Those two guys, they fuse into one guy.
Right. Regardless of what's happening mentally with that guy, he's always the same guy, regardless of what he's wearing. That's what I'm saying.
One guy has Terra's outfit on.
Yeah.
He then has the fight with Aqua.
Mm-hmm.
They throw him up into the square.
Yeah, he gets amnesia, sure.
A new outfit.
Yes.
And he forgets things, but they just give him a new outfit. So he throws the ascot on.
Yes.
All right. He goes through that whole thing, and then he starts to regain the memories after some time. He's still the same guy.
Yes.
And then...
And he puts on a coat.
Yes.
Yeah. If I hit my head and I lose memory of me being regular Pat, I'm still regular Pat, and I might be wearing a different shirt, or maybe even some kind of funny headgear. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're done with it. We're done with Terranort. All right. Well, we finished the Pixar ranking here, so I don't know what happens now. Definitely not playing Dream Drop today. That's not going to happen.
If I had a little... if I was more prepared to do this tier list, I may have had some better thoughts for you. I feel like I slacked here.
No, you did great. You did great, and now Barnabas is back for seconds. By that same logic, isn't Roxas just sort of with amnesia when he starts out? No, because there is like there are conventions in Kingdom Hearts that like define what someone is or is not that are separate of amnesia. You know what I mean? Like
it's a completely different entity.
Roxas, the whole constitution of Roxas is physiologically different than Sora, whereas Terranort wearing Terra's shirt and Terranort wearing the apprentice's coat with different memories, that's not constitutionally fundamentally different. That's what I'm saying.
Saying Sora and Roxas are like the same in this case would be like saying Terranort and Ansem Sod are the same. All right, those are two separate. Or Xemnas actually would be the better.
That'd be a better one. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, we're done again.
With the founding fathers.
For the third time, maybe third or fourth time, we're done with Terranort. We're fucking defending this Kahoot question from, 2 hours ago?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It was a good question, alright?
Yeah. How much do you know about Star Wars, Kiwi? Have you seen them all?
Oh, I know a lot about Star Wars.
Do you, is Endor the best place to have a Kingdom Hearts world? If we're picking one planet?
First of all, I'm like giving it like a 5% chance
really?
That's actually Endor.
I'm gonna give it like a 60, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
here's...
I'm gonna give that a 5% chance. Now, I'm not saying that there's a 5% chance that Endor is in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
But, like... And that would not be my choice, by the way.
Okay.
That would not be...
Is it even in your top 3?
Probably not, no.
Wow. It's Casino Planet, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I go to, like, a couple of different places. I mean...
Well, wait. First, before we get to that, I want to backpedal here for a sec. Why do you not think it's, like... I as someone who's not familiar with the franchise, like, they're showing me the robot foot. It matches, what is it, the ATST? Is that what it's called? Like, yeah. That seems pretty, like, spot on.
Mostly because, like, I just don't even know if it's a robot foot, honestly.
I guess it could just be a rock that looks exactly like... Yeah. I mean...
It feels like somebody said it, and then it just, like, exploded, but, like, nobody said shit about it.
But my thing is, it's like...
a nothing view of it. Like, what?
My thing is that, like, okay, yes, it might not be a robot's foot. And if it were anywhere else, you could just leave it there. Like, if it was, like, a fucking, you know, winter tundra or a volcano place or whatever, and it looked like something, like a rock that... I don't know why I'm, like, tapping my screen with my hand right now. Like, I could see giving up that, okay, it's just a rock that happens to look like that. But, like, it's in this forest environment that seems to look a lot like this Endor planet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, if it was one or the other, like, if it was just the forest, it was just the robot foot rock, fine. But when it's both of them together, like, it seems kind of, like, too coincidental to be a coincidence, basically. Hell, it is super high. Thank you for the 3 months there. Go ahead.
I'm not, like, saying complete no, but it's like... I'll give it 10%.
All right, okay. I talked you up 4% there.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. It's just so... Like, why would that be there?
I know, I agree.
In that trailer. Like, why is that just, like...
Yeah.
Sandwiched in between all this completely unrelated stuff.
I agree.
Could that not be literally anything fucking else? Or are people just looking to, like, oh my god, there's some reference to something. It has to be Marvel or Star Wars. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. It feels like people are really forcing it based on, like, a complete, like, rumor that somebody just, like, must add in the reaction video.
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't think anybody noticed it the first time through. Like, this is definitely, like, people going back and, like, really deep diving on the frames. But, like, because I agree. Like, nobody sees that and goes, oh, that's Endor. Because I don't think you're supposed to, regardless of what it is. Like, if it is Endor, I don't think they want you to think it is. I think I mean, there's got to be somebody at Square or Disney or wherever being like, okay, let's just, like, maybe let them think that it could be happening. But, like, and I was right there with you right when this information was coming out. Like, why would they put it right in the middle of the Quadratum stuff? It doesn't make sense. My first thought was like, oh, it's like the secret forest where Kyrie and Lee go in 3. But I don't think it's that. I think it's something else. I think it's too stylistically different. But, like, if it's not a little cheeky tease with a robot foot, then why is it there? Like, what is it? Is it just supposed to show us, like, here's, like, this other half of this unreality world where it's, like, not a big metropolitan city? Like, is this also, like, is this, you know, a more naturalistic side of wherever Quadratum is? Because you would assume Quadratum is just, like, a city in the larger unreality, right? Like, is the whole world Quadratum? Is this part of that same continued reality? Or is it a Star Wars tease, you know?
Somebody in the chat just said just to show off the realistic graphics, and I think that's it, actually.
Wow.
I think it's just to kind of show it off a bit, to see, like, how far they've come.
I had to switch
because they're using... Oh, I'll hold off.
Yeah, give me a sec there. I think this has to do with capturing my my desktop instead of my game.
What is this question?
So I'm gonna see if this helps when I'm capturing the game instead. We just have to listen to Access the Grid, unfortunately.
Ugh.
Let's see.
I actually can't hear anything but your voice, so...
Yeah, let's see here. We're switching over to Dream Drop just to see if that can kind of stop the bleeding on these stream issues. Let's pick a different song from Access the Grid though. Let's have a Traverse in Trance. That'd be better. Anyway, what were you saying, Kiwi? Star Wars.
I think it is just to show off like the new tech that they have, because they're using the Unreal Engine 5 for this one, not the 4. So
yeah,
it feels like they kind of just had some. They probably have some idea for what it actually is, but like I think it was mostly a just like a reason to like show off the technology.
I don't disagree with that theory there, but like they're going to contextualize it somehow. Like that place has to mean something or be somewhere. It's not just like random forest assets that they wanted to use to show off the technology and then they're never going to touch it again. So like my question is just like, if it's not a little Star Wars tease, and again, I'm not speaking from this perspective as someone who really wants or cares about Star Wars. I don't want anyone to misconstrue that. Someone's just saying it's Earth. Like it's just supposed to be just like our planet, just like nature. And maybe that's it.
I mean, that is where the rest of this is taking place, essentially.
Right.
Like, But why, and I think maybe somebody just said this here, but like, Endor would not be like, if you just told me like name Star Wars planets, Endor would probably not be like one of the first 5, I would say. So that would be a really odd selection there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you know, aesthetically pleasing like some of the others are. I mean,
it's kind of basic.
Other jungle environments that have already been used in the series, so like why would you pick Endor when you have like this enormous catalog of different environments, you know?
Like Casino Planet.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe not that one.
I know everyone hated Casino Planet. When I saw it and I had no context, I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. Oh, I actually don't even mind Canto Bight that much. But like, yeah, I don't know. There's so many like iconic worlds from Star Wars that you could possibly pull from, and like Endor does not feel like one of the first 5.
That's where the Ewoks live, right?
Yeah.
And that's like big in the 3rd movie of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like one other reason I have to say is like Luke Skywalker doesn't spend a lot of time on Endor.
You know, here's a question.
I feel like you'd probably want him to be one of your guys, you know?
Oh, Owl says Kashyyyk is where Ewoks live.
No, Kashyyyk is where the Wookiees live.
Oh, okay.
Endor is where the Ewoks live.
All right. Kiwi's calling an audible on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so says the chat.
Right in.
Oh, Alice says, like, wait, I fucked up. It's okay, Alice. Okay. Here's my question. Does Endor appear at all in the new trilogy? Prominently.
Endor does not appear in the new
trilogy.
trilogy.
Here's my thing with Star Wars. I think if they're doing it, they're doing the new trilogy. They're not going to do the original classic with young Luke Skywalker. I think they're going to go in on Rey and Kylo. Right?
That feels like that's an interesting take. I would think maybe no.
Yeah.
Just because like I think Disney seems really trying to distance themselves from their own shit.
Yeah, you think so?
With those new movies.
Yeah, that's true, because I don't know what their relationship is with the new trilogy. Like I know a lot of people don't like it, but I would just think that they would want to push the ones that they were responsible for. But if they're already backing up from it and they're kind of like, hey, don't pay attention to that, look at these classics that we also own. Like, I think I would rather see, as someone who is not attached to any of it, I've seen one movie from both, I haven't seen any from the prequels, but I've seen one from the original, one from the sequel. I would prefer to see the original trilogy. I think there's more interesting stuff there. But go ahead.
I mean, I would say, well, hold on a second here.
Yeah.
I think I saw something that I wanted to comment on. Just look at what Disney has already done, like with what like their non-movie stuff is. They made the Solo movie and Rogue One, which both take place
in the original
during the original trilogy, right before it era. They've done The Mandalorian, which takes place right after Return of the Jedi back then.
Yeah.
They're going to do the Kenobi show. They did Boba Fett. Like, it's all taking place in, like, that previous era. Like, that's what they're really trying to push here.
That's a good point.
That would be the case that I'd make. Oh yeah, Kenobi, dude, that's gonna be hype. Ewan McGregor, Emmy Award winner, Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point because I again, as somebody who's not intimately familiar with like the inner workings of, or even just like all of the spin-off media, like I had assumed that a lot of this newer stuff that they're putting out, like this, not mainline movie stuff, had to do with like the newer trilogy. But it's almost as if like you said, they made it. The response was probably not, stellar. They're like, okay, whatever, but we still own the rights to all this stuff, so let's kind of build off of it and like flesh out the universe more in the original trilogy. So that's a good point. Like, I could definitely see it now. Unfortunately for you, that makes me more convinced that it is Endor and that they're gonna go there. Maybe push me up to 65. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's fine. If it's Endor and I'm wrong, I mean, I'm down to play it. It's not gonna...
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dock it 4 points for us.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go down to a 6 out of 10 if it's in there. I just, I'm very skeptical of that. I don't know. I just feel like there was a lot of this exact type of conversation, like, leading up to KH4, where, like, somebody would see something, like, in the corner of a trailer or something like that, and they would be like, oh, somebody said in maybe like an analysis video or something, like there was a spot in Olympus where like there was a platform and it kind of looked like there was a chakram or something on one of the platforms, and they were like, wait, is that how you summon Axel or something?
Oh, God.
Like,
yeah.
There was so much like builds on shit that was like so in the background and everything.
Total ass pulls, yeah.
And we know how they roll, like with these trailers and stuff like that. They're all in your face. There's nothing subtle about these trailers. They're not gonna just like drop a hint that's like as big. Like, you don't think they want to stir the conversation about like the Star Wars stuff when that trailer of a Star Wars world finally drops? Like, you think they just want it to be like this speculation thing until they only disappoint people when it doesn't end up existing?
You're bringing me down to like a 40 now, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're right, like they would want the Star Wars talk to be like conclusive, They would not want the Star Wars discussion to start with like, oh, it could be based on this sort of like little robot foot in a foresty area. They would want to go big on that. And like, really, if we're gonna look back, when did they... I mean, how many trailers are hinting at something? There are trailers that ruin stuff where you see it and you go, why would they show that after you play the game? But like, how often is there something in a trailer, especially these early, more conceptual ones, where it's just like, oh, look at that little thing, and they were all along they were hinting towards this.
Is this question?
People are mentioning how they kind of hinted at Toy Story. Okay, but that was like very like in promotional material and everything, and they were like, look, this is at the end of the trailer, we're showing you like a little...
Can you remind me of what that is? Because
it was like what the Keyblade transforms into.
Oh, okay.
They kind of like showed what that looked like in the trailer before
it seems more like a mistake than a hint to me. It seems more like something... It's like when I watch Survivor and I see a preview and you see someone wearing a different colored buff than they're supposed to, and you go, oh, they make the merge. Like, it seems like...
I understand.
Yeah.
I think people were just kind of like leaned a certain way, and it kind of like confirmed it before it was confirmed. But like they were very like deliberate in like putting that image out there and being like, this is exactly what we're going for. There's no subtlety here with what we're showing you. So I don't know, there seems to be like, that's way too hidden of a detail for it to be like an actual thing. I'm just taking the example of this YouTuber named Regular Pat at the end of his video. He said about how you gotta calm yourself down when it comes to these these trailers and stuff. So so that's what I'm trying to do here.
Well,
show a little caution.
I don't know what that guy knows about anything, so probably a bad move.
Yeah,
you should see some of these other KH YouTubers.
YouTuber at me?
Yeah. I mean, there are people who've been around a lot longer. You probably better pulls, but anyway, Jumpman Superior asked a pretty interesting question. Do you think KH4 will ruin itself leading up to the release similar to KH3? If so, then to what degree? Now, for context, for anybody who doesn't know, this does, Jump is not suggesting that KH3 was a bad game. At least I don't think Jump dislikes KH3. I know I don't. But Kiwi, you're familiar with the video that I did recently about how the trailers sort of, forecasted everything that was going to happen, right?
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing. The difference between 3 and 4 is that you knew how 3 ended pretty much exact, like, not, the ins and outs, but like you knew generally what was going to happen in Kingdom Hearts 3, where I do not know generally what's going to happen in KH4. Do you agree with that, just as a baseline statement? Like, I knew before I put KH3 into my PS4 that it was going to end with all of the trios getting back together. Obviously you didn't know that, like, it was a surprise to me that Sora disappeared, but like you kind of knew, like, okay, we're going to meet up at the Keyblade Graveyard, we're going to have this big fight, and then by the end of it, Xehanor's going to be defeated, and, the trios are all going to reunite, and it's going to be mostly a happy ending. But, like, I can't say the same about 4. I don't know, is Master still an active player by the end of Kingdom Hearts 4? You don't know. You don't know who's together, who's not, if it's going to end on a cliffhanger or what. So, from that reasoning, I would say that it would be harder for KH4 to ruin itself in the way that I think KH3 did, because the intrigue for me with KH3 was not so much what's going to happen, but how it was going to happen, and like just getting to see it all for the first time in game, and they just gave so much of it away early. That's how I think KH3 sort of ruined itself, whereas KH4 can show me Yozora, and it can show me the Foretellers, and it's not going to really, I don't think, take away from the real experience as badly, because like I don't really have any sort of inkling as to what's going to happen, whereas I kind of had an idea with it in 3.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that just kind of like the nature of being in a long-running series like this? Like you kind of know. I mean, they built KH3 up as kind of like the end of this saga here, so you knew that it was going to hit those certain story beats at the end.
Right.
This feels like kind of like another KH1, because it's
such a fresh start.
Any direction that it wants to. There's the mystery element of it. So, I mean, that analysis is on point. If you're if you're asking for a rating there,
sure, good.
That was on point. No, I think that's just kind of the nature of storytelling in these long form pieces like this.
Yeah. And I mean, and I will agree that, like, when you look at the end of that KH3 trailer video that I did, and we're dropping again, holy fuck, it's been a bad day. God, I have no idea, bro. It's like, all right, give me a sec.
We need a drop me not here.
Right? Jesus Christ.
Pop one.
Papa drop me not in the chat. Start
Papa
streaming
drop.
again. Papa drop. That's gonna be my.
What if it was called a Papa drop?
There should be a rapper called Papa Drop. Papa drop.
Big Papa drop.
Come on. Jesus. I gotta wait for OBS. Oh. I think it's my camera. I think my webcam causes issues. That's my theory now.
What?
My webcam, I think, is what causes the. I think it's just too much stuff happening for my computer to handle. All right, we're back.
And we're back.
Refresh. Refresh. God damn it. What were we saying? Yes, the trailer build-up. And I will say, like, at the end of that KH3 video that I did about the trailers, I took a look at, like, Dream Drop and Birth by Sleep, and they definitely forecast... I might need to, like, get rid... I love the whale drop, but it's so loud when it happens, and it happens so often. I might need to chuck that. I do talk about, like, how they show off, like, very key moments in Dream Drop and BBS. And it wasn't necessarily... Like, those games, you don't really go into them knowing what's going to happen as much as you go into 3. So that might be a bit of a dent in my argument there. But I still think it's going to be harder for 4 to kind of forecast itself as much as 3 did. So I'm going to stick by that.
I don't know. I'm probably not, like, a great person to ask this specific question, just because, like, I watched all of the materials leading up to KH3 and still was kind of like surprised by just like how it got to those trailer moments, like it had less to do with like what they were showing me, and like I wasn't able to connect all of the pieces, like, just from watching the promotional videos, you know?
Right.
Like, I didn't have that much insight to be able to, like, go back and, like, place in order, this is how it's all gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's still... You know, it still, like, thrilled me. You know, there was enough there to be, like, exciting, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I watched about half of the trailers. I kind of dipped out around when they revealed, God, probably around Arendelle, a little bit after that.
Yeah.
So, like, I was thrilled to not know anything about Scala or the final world going into it.
Right.
Like, it just hit me so hard. So I hope they leave stuff like that, you know, off of the trailer table for 4, but, you know, I don't even know, like, Quadratum is already so dramatically strange and different from everything we've seen, like, I don't even know what they kind of, keep from us in that same vein. Kiwi, we're probably gonna end soon just because of how rampant the issues have been. I don't want to, like, keep cutting in and out. I probably have, like, 9 VODs on Twitch now.
You've also had enough of me here.
No, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, that's implied, but that's implicit. These issues are explicit.
Never subtly make it seem like you're not interested in talking, because I will only go harder to make it happen.
I would love to talk for hours and hours about Kingdom Hearts 4. In fact, we could just do it again next time. I don't care. But anything to keep me from Dream Drop.
I'm sure. Like, I gotta change up the streaming schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. Boys.
Yeah, anytime Kiwi's not available. No, but I don't, like, we just dropped again, like, literally just now, so something is clearly going off today. I have not had it this bad, and I mean, Saturday was bad, but this is even worse, so.
Oh my god, it happened again.
Yeah.
It happened again.
It happened again!
It happened again.
So let me just, like, restart one more time so I can at least say goodbye to everybody.
Good night.
1 sec. We can both say.
I love the Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just... It takes forever for the stream to even stop. Like, that's how bad it is. You did lose me for a bit, though, earlier?
You were just, like, cutting in and out. Every time the stream drops, it kind of cuts in and out a bit.
It must be my internet, then. That's crazy, because I have Ethernet now, so I have no idea. Alright, I'm going to start streaming again. Alright, guys, before we lose you again, Kiwi and I are going to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize for all the drops here, but I had a lot of fun with the Kahoots and just talking about KH4 with Kiwi here. Dream Drop can, I guess, go fuck itself. And we'll be back on Thursday at 6 for some KH2 Kahoot and KH1. We're going to be playing KH1 on Thursday. It's Chris and Allie's birthday on Thursday, so that'll be nice. And I'm looking forward to that big time. Maybe talk some more KH4 on Thursday as well. But again, thank you for stopping by. Kiwi, anything to say to the masses?
Yeah, I just want to apologize to everyone for ruining both Kahoot and the stream.
Yeah.
I know nobody wanted to listen to me for this long, but... you know, this is what you got.
It's my house, and people stuck around for it, which I appreciate. And thank you, Kiwi, for calling in. And we just dropped again. So, all right, good. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.